YouTube podcast world. What's up, family? You already know what it is. Pays and Plays podcast here. It is Good Friday, November 10th. I hope everybody been doing well through the week, feeling good, living better, try to get better each and every day. This week, we're going to shake things up. We're going to have a lot of underdog plays. We'll have one favorite. NBA, I guess, because I'm going to the Pistons game tonight. I'll be checking out my boys. It is the in-season tournament game against Philadelphia. And I see Pistons were like plus 9.5. I'm kind of interested. I think I'm going to take the Pistons plus 9.5 as an underdog. Not too much science, bro. Yeah, I do think they got a nice emotional win against Boston, which they needed, and now they're going on the road. And I'm not saying the Pistons will win this game, but it'll probably be a close game. But it's like a pizza money bet. So, you know, if you can take me serious for this or not, if not, it is what it is. It's just my experiences. I'll be there. College basketball, man. I lost the first game, not San Diego State, South Dakota State. And then I also went, I didn't say it out loud or anything, but I went over the Arizona State, Mississippi State game that was 129.5. And because Arizona State got blew out by like 20 something, I think I was short 3 points from the over. So that kind of stung, but you let us see another day. We'll focus on that. I do find Arizona and Duke to be interesting matchup today, but I'll be at the Pistons game, so I want to kind of usually want to watch my bets, obviously, and sit there and really watch them. But enough of all of that. College football, let's get into it, man. Underdog edition. Yes, underdogs. This is what I'm feeling for this week. We're going to go with TCU plus 10.5. They play Texas, and it is a home game for TCU. But this does not scare me. Hear me out. Texas, yes, the name. Everyone hears the name and gets scared of Texas, right? But this is what I'm seeing, man. Remember, Quentin Ewers may not be playing this game, and I think he's a game-time decision. The way that college games has been going, they wait to the last minute and then say, oh, this person to scratch off. They don't really like kind of say that he's hurt still. And they were up big against Kansas State last week, and then they outright almost shit the bed, bro, with the backup quarterback. And that was a home game. Last time I remember betting against Texas was Houston, plus 22. And Houston almost won the game, and Quentin Ewers got hurt that game, and that's when the injury bug kind of started happening with him. This game here, we know it's TCU. This is a team last year that did go to the national championship game, and yes, they got blew the fuck out, and it's not the same players on the team, not a lot of them, but they're going to give them some fight. It's a home game, bro. I've been watching TCU games the last few weeks. They've been covering a little like either they're pretty much there or they just shit the bed. But a lot of times though, they've been in competitive games. 10.5 is a lot of points and it's at home. Prime time type game too. And they got a chance to spoil Texas for the season because think about it. If they lose this game, they're not going to the Big 12 championship game. And there's no possible revenge factor against Oklahoma. And also, you got to think, the order to get to the Big 12 game, they have to also win that game and possibly hope to go to the championship or the college football playoffs. And this could be spoiler alert. This game they could outright lose this game TCU, but I'm going with the points at the plus 10.5. If I would suggest a little sprinkle on the money line, because, if both hit, then, you're going to get a nice little penny, bro. I'll take that. Next one. Going another high big number. Ole Miss plus 11.5. And yes, it's at Georgia. Yeah. I know that's another team that people are like scared to bet against, but I'm willing to be the one to do it. Ole Miss is a competitive team. And you know what? While we're talking about Ole Miss, I'll talk about what I saw and what I've been hearing about Lane Kiffin. And there's a video recording, a voice recording of him talking about the player that had a mental illness. And listen, I understand about mental illness, but then when you find out about the story, this guy didn't contact nobody, didn't show up for 2 weeks. It's just like a job. Let's be real. If you don't show up after sometimes 1 day or 2 days, they don't care about you no more. They're going to keep going on the business. And that's what Lane Kiffin was pretty much saying, was like, look, you're off the fucking team. You didn't show up, didn't talk to nobody for 2 weeks. I mean, look at the rules, and that does make sense. So, I mean, I'm on supportive with that. I know a lot of people don't like the truth, but that is a factor because people work regular jobs a lot of times. I know if somebody go to a job right now and then don't show up 3 days, just whatever, and don't say nothing, what do you expect is going to happen? That's just common sense. And sometimes that's hard coaching in reality, bro, because a lot of times they do prepare you for the world with some of these people and coaches. And Lane Kiffin is a good coach. He's not letting no distractions happen. Look, against Georgia, I know Brock Bowers isn't playing, and that maybe is a little factor, but this team isn't the dominant. The defense isn't, I mean, think about it, bro. Who did they play? They played against Missouri, and they were like 19, 16-point underdogs, and Missouri lost by 9 points. So, I mean, you can't tell me that Ole Miss, who's actually a lot better and very, competitive, I see them at least keeping this game close. And I think Georgia is bound to lose a game. I do think this whole week is upset alerts. So, if we'll talk about another game in particular too, but definitely think Ole Miss has a shot. Now, another one that I believe, and this is why I just watch and I spectate, Michigan, they're an upset alert. Don't think they're not. Penn State, listen, they're lucky they're not playing at Penn State during the 8 o'clock time, during a whiteout. But, I mean, this is hostile environment. And, I don't think they cover 4.5. I've been seeing. I think they win by 3. But, one thing I see about Michigan this year, maybe this is just me, I haven't seen the dominant run game this year. They're more of a pass-friendly team. And the only reason why I've been knowing that, I haven't watched too much Michigan games, honestly, because they've been blowing out teams. But I see J.J. McCarthy in the top 15, top 10 in the NFL draft next year, possibly. So that's how I know they've been passing a lot more. And some of the clips and some of the actual games that I did see a little bit of, it was more throwing than passing than running, correction. But the defense is still scout. But the thing with Penn State is they don't have explosiveness as receivers, and that does lack when you play against Michigan, because Michigan does play man. We'll see how it all plays out. But for some people, I do remember seeing the over-under for the win total for Michigan was 10.5. If you pick an over, you need to hope they win this game. And then, if they happen to lose to Ohio State and be 11-1, that's you hitting the over. But this determines the over-under for 10.5 wins right here. And I thought they had a chance to hit the over, but I didn't like it because that hook was just disgusting, because I saw maybe the possible 2 losses would have been Penn State and Ohio State. And, yeah, but that's enough with the upset alerts. I mean, there's a lot of other games, but I don't really like them. But as far as double-digit spreads that I actually kind of respect the team, I have to go with those 2, Ole Miss, and we're going to go with TCU. I almost lost my train of thought. But anyway, let's go into NFL, man. Now, 2 plays. Yeah, and I love these. And listen, if you don't like the college, the NFL, if you've been paying attention, we've been hitting every week. I think last time I remember actually losing was the Browns -2. They won by 1 point. I think I've been on fire ever since. But we're going to continue that train, at least hope for a split, because I only got 2. We're going to go with the underdog still. We're going to go with Tennessee Titans on the money line against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yes. I love what Will Levis did Thursday night, even though it was against Pittsburgh and it is a Thursday night football game. When he was getting sacked, the next play, this man stepped up to the pocket, stepped up and threw a fucking dart. And I love that shit, bro. That shit was perfect and spot on and accurate. I love that. And there was a lot of confidence. Derrick Henry's rejuvenated. DeAndre Hopkins rejuvenated. The defense looks rejuvenated. I mean, it was against Pittsburgh. But when you play against the Buccaneers, who, let's just be honest, almost have 500 total yards dropped on this defense, as much as I respect Lavonte David and Devin White in the front 7, the secondary has been getting exposed. And you're playing with D-Hop, who looks really rejuvenated. And this kind of almost reminds me of the Lions and Tampa Bay game, where it could have went either way. And I think the way that the Titans have got rejuvenated, and I think the thing is you go all pass against Baker Mayfield because they can't run the ball. They can't. You think you're going to run through Simmons? I don't think so. But Titans have a lot to fight, man. Mike Vrabel is a better. This is I say coaching is going to matter. Mike Vrabel is a better coach than Todd Bowles, and it's going to show this day. So I'm going with the Titans to win the underdog plus 104. Why not? I think this is probably the best underdog I like for the week. Next game, though, San Francisco -3 against the Jaguars. Yes, we know a West Coast team traveling to the East. We know how that goes. But think about it. 3-game losing streak. Debo should be back. Terrence Williams should be back. I think this offense goes rolling. Chase Young, you added him into the mix with Bosa. Defense got some time to rest up them injuries. Yes, Jaguars are off a bye too, but I think a lot of people are on high on them. And from what I've seen, a lot of people are all over the Jaguars. So what it's worth to most people, that's on you guys. But I'm going to go the opposite way and pick San Francisco 49ers. And one more game that I was going to bet, but I'm not. Excuse me. I know, like I said earlier this week, recovering from a little cold, but we good. Lions and Chargers. I don't really know what to make of this game. If you want, I say if anything, I will focus on the Lions. If Montgomery is back, I say Montgomery and Gibbs rushing yards. I think they kind of rely on the run game. I would love that against this Charger defense, but I wouldn't pick a side because from what I've been looking at the numbers, almost 90% of the tickets is on the Lions, and I'm kind of not a fan of that. I kind of agree, but I wouldn't touch this. I saw when it was at -2 earlier in the week, or they opened up at -1.5, I think. I would have loved it, but -3, that we're kind of pushing it a little bit. But as always, guys, please continue to like, comment, subscribe, pass the word around, man. Good Friday. Signing out. Let's get this motherfucking money.